Our 2023 deadline previews continue with an interesting team, and that is the Chicago Blackhawks. Obviously, Chicago is in the first year of their rebuild, and this could be the first year where we see some actual legitimate selling of some pretty big players. The Blackhawks so far this season are 31st in the league, tied for 32nd actually if I'm correct, at 15, 29, and 4 for 34 points. They have scored 118 goals and they'll only have let in 176. For cap space for a rebuilding team, this is actually kind of surprising. They only have $5.7 million in cap space, but they're about to have $16 million plus come off the books if they trade or let go of these players. A look at the 2023 UFAs. The two biggest players that are causing the most talk right now is mainly Patrick Kane, but also Jonathan Toews as well, and they both will prove very interesting. Now, it hasn't been decided whether or not Patrick Kane will make a decision about being traded or not. He said he will make it relatively soon, so we should know in a time frame, probably by the end of next week, if not that week afterwards. So we're going to get notice on Patrick Kane very, very soon here. As for Jonathan Toews, I think it's basically confirmed that he's going to leave. Honestly, I don't really see any point of keeping him in Chicago, so I think it's pretty good for the Blackhawks to just trade him for some assets. There are some teams interested, and we'll go back to this team in a little bit. The Winnipeg Jets have definitely inquired about Jonathan Toews, thinking about bringing the guy home, maybe naming him captain, who knows. But Kane rumors, really, there hasn't been that many, and that's kind of why I think that he isn't going to get traded. And that also could be because he hasn't made a decision yet, but the biggest team that I've seen just pop up is the Rangers. Of course, it's not going to come as any surprise to anybody. Of course, they're going to be interested in the Patrick Kane race. That's been a thing for like 3 years now. Anyways, a look at the other UFAs. You have Andreas Athanasiou, who definitely, I haven't seen any teams interested in him just yet, but he will definitely garner some trade interest come the deadline as a bottom six forward. Same with Max Domi as well. When he was on Columbus last season, he garnered a lot of interest, even was traded to the Hurricanes. You can see their jersey back there. And I recommended that Domi could get traded to the Canes again in the Hurricanes trade deadline video. But he's also linked to the Edmonton Oilers and the Winnipeg Jets as well. Two Canadian teams that are kind of seeking some depth forwards, and Max Domi would be a good fit for them. Then you also have Jack Johnson there as well. Johnson's had statistically one of the worst seasons ever. No lie. He's been horrible, so he'll definitely walk. Alex Stalock could prove interesting. I mean, he's been hurt, but he's actually looked okay, if I'm correct. So we'll see there. Then you also have Jujhar Khaira and Jared Tenorti as well. A look at the restricted free agents now. You have Philip Kurashev, who maybe they sign him, maybe they don't, or maybe they qualify him, maybe they don't. I'm not entirely too sure. He could be a trade piece as well. Caleb Jones as well, Seth Jones' brother. I would imagine they'd re-sign him. I mean, they probably want to keep him in town with that horrible Jones contract. Maybe they'll sign the same deal with him. Who knows? I'm joking, Chicago fans. I'm sorry. And then they also have Ian Mitchell as well as the third RFA. So really not that big of RFAs there. The main problems are on the UFA list, so we'll see what happens. In terms of buyers or sellers, people really shouldn't be surprised in what I'm going to say here. They're obviously going to be sellers. I mean, this team's tied for dead last in the league. They don't have a lot of positives, but we'll see who really gets dealt. The good thing about Chicago, too, is that they are already stacked on draft picks. They have 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, 2 third-round picks, 1 fourth, 1 fifth, and 1 seventh. They do not have a 6th. I almost said they had a 6th, but they do not. The really only other thing here I have is Kane will not get traded. And I know I said this a little bit earlier. I don't think Kane gets traded. I genuinely don't. If he made his decision, if he wanted to get traded, he would have probably said it earlier. I could be wrong. I could definitely be wrong. But I don't think Patrick Kane will get dealt, in my opinion. I think he's a Blackhawk for life. And he's still going to be good when the Blackhawks come out of this rebuild. He's going to be kind of up there in age, but he still will be a solid player. And part of the reason why I said he's not going to get traded could also be because I can't imagine him in another jersey. I don't think anybody else really can. He's kind of one of those big three, like Crosby, Crosby, Ovechkin, Malkin, Stamkos, all those players. You can't imagine them in other jerseys. I can't imagine Kane wearing another team's jersey. So, but hey, Claude Giroux did get traded, so who knows? But yeah, the only other player that I have mentioned here is Jake McCabe as well. McCabe could be an interesting defenseman. I have seen him pop up in rumors. There actually is a decent amount of teams that are interested in acquiring the defender, but we'll see if he does get signed. He was hurt for a little bit this season, which is kind of a concern to some other teams, but we'll see. But anyways, that's all I have really for this deadline preview. Thank you all very much for watching. For all of your support as of late, I really do appreciate it. So subscribe down below if you are new. And anyways, thank you all for watching. We will move on to the Colorado Avalanche tomorrow, and I'll see you guys. Adios.